Hello, my name is Per Bur. I'm the CEO of IncludeOS, and today I'm going to show you how to install IncludeOS on macOS. So we'll be installing IncludeOS on macOS Sierra. So that's currently the latest release of OS 10. First thing we need to do is to install the various command line tools. So that includes Git, Clang, and those other tools. So the way we trigger installation of those is by typing one of the commands that are in that package. So I just type git, and it prompts OS 10 to sort of install the package. Now you need to pay attention and make sure that you only install the command line tools. You could get all of XCode, but that includes like an iPhone emulator and all sorts of stuff that you don't need. Just press the install button and you'll be fine. Now, it'll take some time to install that, so I'll just skip ahead. So next thing we'll need is Brew. Now Brew is sort of a software package manager for OS 10. It's an easy way to install all the stuff that we need in order to build something without installing all the packages manually. So just go to brew.sh and just cut and paste the command to install it, and it'll install. It'll take 5 minutes or so, and once we've done with that, we have Brew installed. So again, let's just fast forward through the actual installation. Okay, so now Brew is installed. So the next thing we're going to need is to download IncludeOS. Now we'll download that by just cloning the repository. When we work on IncludeOS, we try to keep the master branch stable. So currently sort of installing the latest master branch is usually what we recommend. There is also a dev branch where sort of things where there's development happening every day. The dev branch might break from time to time. So if you want something that's sort of in a more stable state, then the master branch is what I'd recommend that you use.
So here we start by setting the two environment variables needed, IncludeOS prefix and path. We'll add this to bash_profile just to make the changes persist.
So first off, we'll just create a folder called Git, where we'll just clone the Git repository. Yeah, we just enter into it. Now there's a script in the repository called install.sh, and this will basically just set up all the dependencies you'll need. So just run it. It'll tell you what it's about to do, which packages it needs. It needs root privileges, so please give it your password. And once that is done, it'll ask you if it's okay if you download all that stuff. And then basically it'll start installing dependencies and go directly into compiling IncludeOS. It'll take, on this machine, it takes about 10 minutes to compile all of IncludeOS. It should be noted that IncludeOS is actually compiled twice. We compile a 32-bit version and a 64-bit version. The reason why we're compiling a 32-bit version is because we use that 32-bit version to boot the 64-bit version when we're running on the command line. Now that everything is installed, we could test our installation. So if you go into the examples folder in IncludeOS, there you see the example folder. There are some demo services that we can build. So we'll try the demo_service, and we just use the command boot, and we ask it also to create a network bridge, so we connect it to the host computer. And what this will do is compile that service and then boot it. Here you see, if you look on the text that it outputs, you see that it's first booting a 32-bit executable. That's what we call a chain loader. The reason why we do that is because QEMU doesn't support booting 64-bit kernels directly on the command line. Now that 32-bit will then bring up the 64-bit kernel, and then that will execute. Now we can then go to the given IP address and have a look at the service, and you see that the service is running successfully. So that's it. It should be rather straightforward. If you have any issues, you can reach out to us on Gitter, and we can see if we can help you out. Cheers, bye.